open my character
Indeed.
sheet, shouldn't I?
You always say something right as it switches over.
Sorry.
You're the one in the YouTube comments going first. I know
Me.
you. I know you. Hey.
It's me.
Okay, here we go. Right, that aside. Okay, so previously on Curse of Strahd, you managed to escape from Durst Manor by the skin of your teeth and ended up back on the road through the woods where you first arrived in this misty land. Krieg realized that he had a new ability, and he heralded it in with a song performed for you from the branches of a treetop, and he started to manifest this ability inherited from his family as these fey bugs appeared and did his bidding, that's what I was looking for. Finally got there. And his bidding was to retrieve a mysterious bundle of clothes that you found in a tree, most likely left there by skinny dipping werewolves. And
not sure yet.
Vanta immediately put the clothes on.
Very likely. Yeah.
Like
no respect for private property. And you continued until you exited from the trees into a river valley with some farmland along the banks of a rushing river, and the trail continuing on through the fields to a huddle of houses, crouched, terrified, looking under mountains, and one particular pillar rock, atop which brooded a magnificent-looking castle. Making its way... There's no music on. I should put some music on. Making its way along this road, you saw... Sorry. Tick-tock. You saw a wagon slowly making its way along the road, enabling you to easily catch up with it. And you pulled up alongside this wagon, and the driver was very unresponsive, very quiet, as he was transporting his beats by Dre. Towards the village of Barovia. You entered into the buildings, and from atop one of the roofs of the houses nearby, you saw a raven as it cawed loudly at you, and then took to the air and swooped down the road towards what looks like a town square. You noticed one thing in particular: this raven had blue tips on its wings. You followed after, and arriving in the village square, you saw a tavern. The Blood of the Vine Tavern. Ducking inside, you saw the various people quietly, dejectedly drinking there. And you made your way to the bar and were curious to see the very almost robotic movements and lack of any kind of emotion from the barkeeper. And as you went to get a drink, Xenicus, about to pay, was stopped as a hand grasped your shoulder and said, "No, friend, allow me. Let me get these drinks for you. Won't you join me?" and your new friend, Ismak Kolyanovich, beckoned you over to his table and revealed that he was the burgomaster's son in this village. And you mentioned to him finding the letter, which he confirmed was in his father's hand, and unfortunately gave him the bad news that the messenger had been waylaid and killed in the woods. And you asked him, and you started to talk to him about the predicaments the letter mentioned his sister being in. But he advised caution, and that the devil himself has eyes and ears all over this land, and that he indeed is the land. And that's where we stopped.
Are we still at the table with him?
Yes.
And does he seem like he's still open to talking more with us? Or does he seem quite closed off now?
He had asked you for help. You know, he wanted your help. And he seemed very keen to talk to you and was very happy to meet you.
And he still seems like he's okay.
Yes, despite
awkwardness.
Despite the drama.
I don't know.
Oh, that was a bit loud. Someone walked right past us then. I think Vanta would lean in and just say, "He is the land." We've heard that before.
It is a common saying.
Why?
Just he seems to have control of everything. He has some kind of connection to the beasts, the wolves in the forests and other creatures of the night.
You had children go missing?
There have been occasional disappearances, yes, now you mention it.
Any surplus of children by any chance?
Some.
We're missing some as well.
No, there's nobody here in the village beyond us residents.
Is this village the only settlement other than the castle itself?
No. As I said, I'd like. Let us finish our drinks and away to our house in the south of the village. It is not okay to talk here. Again, that furtive look towards the Vistani women.
Who are they?
They are the fine owners of this establishment.
Where shall we go? Your house?
Please, I would.
I'm Asara. I'm gonna elbow Vanta in the side.
This place.
I cough up blood because I'm still a little bit wounded. A lot of it.
This place has decent wine from the local winery, but there is no food to be had. Allow me, as first-time visitors to our town, allow me to feed you this evening.
It's most gracious of you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Sorry, his accent's a bit all over the place today.
Wonderful. I am completely vanished, and everyone kind of looks at Craig, and he's like, the spirits have changed back into into like little beetles, and he's like kind of stacking them. Like, and they just kind of fall over as he says that.
And as you do, Ismark stands to leave, and like downs the last of his wine and like plonks the glass on the table. And then, shall we?
Indeed.
And
Let's.
as you stand to leave, Krieg, the beetles take flight as they had before, just kind of lazily drifting. And as they do, they move through the air and they all gather and alight on that pristine bouquet of flowers you have attached to the side of your pack. And the rest of you, you've noticed this bouquet before. Just, kind of tied to the outside of Krieg's pack. And, you've been together a few days now, and they haven't wilted or lost any colour at all.
Krieg, are you going to a funeral?
Oh, these? Oh, no. These are, as far as I know, purely decorative.
Oh.
Uh,
Are you a druid?
no, nothing like that. Just something of a trophy.
They smell like a graveyard. I keep walking.
Yes.
It is a funerary bouquet.
Yes.
Vanta knows her stuff.
Goblins do like their bouquets. Zeneca says he messes off.
Goblins.
I don't know.
The
Yeah.
questions multiply.
As they tend to do. Okay, let me bring you once more into the fair streets of the village of Barovia.
In fair Barovia, we lay our scene.
Care of course, once more, James's RPG art, these beautiful animated scenes. Da-da-da. There you go.
Very good, very cool.
And actually, as you stand up and make your way towards the exit, one of the other locals also rather unstably stands to their feet with a bit of a wobble on and makes their way towards the door, and he's like, as always, thank you, ladies, to the three owners. And they're like, thanks for your custom. And he kind of goes through the door and out into the street ahead of you. And Ismark nods to them as he passes. Fine wine, as always. And like, you're welcome, Mr. the Lesser. And he's like, yes.
As I
past
pass,
them.
I would like to say, I did not partake, and I probably never will. And then I just leave.
But I thank you. You feel like he was ready for it.
Yay! I like this.
So your custom. And you
I bet there'd be carrots.
spill out onto the street. And into the cold, misty air of the village of Barovia once more.
Question.
Yes.
Do we still hear wailing?
I was waiting to see if Sirenscape would answer for me. Oh, there we go. Yes, you do.
I'm not. Does it say that I'm in Sirenscape? Because I'm not getting.
No, you only you accepted the invitation. You didn't turn on Sirenscape. You have to turn on your widget now.
Or just restart it if it's
If you
open. Whatever
booted
reason.
it up before you accepted, it doesn't click it. You might have to reboot it.
Yeah, yeah.
What the heck? I'm trying to take notes on my iPad, but my pen is not charging. How dare.
Cheeky.
Rude of it, innit?
How
bit
rude. There you go. That's in now. That's in now. Let me restart for you there.
I'm still not getting any wailing on my end.
It's intermittent.
I hear it a little. Okay.
I heard wolves and rain.
Here you go. Here it comes. Ready?
Oh, that wailing. Okay.
Yes, the female voice. Okay. So, as you make your way into the streets again, with Ismark leading the way, you come out and you do see that figure that left ahead of you, and you can hear him. He's kind of like mumbling to himself. He's like, no jovial, drunken song on the way home in the village of Barovia, but he's like, oh, cursed wine. I'm hungry. I need something. I need something to settle my stomach. He's like, and then you hear him call out. He's like, you there, peddler woman. And you see him go over, and coming out of the mists down the road, you see a little wooden cart. Its wheels creaking along. Just a hand cart, pushed by a bent figure with a shawl pulled up around her head against the night chill. And you hear her say, she's like, good evening, good evening. You'd like one of my pies? He's like, oh yes, I'm glad I found you. These delicious pies. Here's the gold. He's like, always a pleasure. Enjoy. And you see him happily tuck into this delicious looking pie.
I don't know if I think it looks delicious because I'm scared of what's inside it, John. Fanta has no idea, but Emma is scared. No.
Yeah.
Senecas is looking at, like, he kind of looks at Craig and looks at the others and is like, can we get a pie?
If you feel the need for sustenance, please do partake.
Ismark says, I will cook for you when we get to my house, but
Get a
please,
pie.
they are a popular. I hear tell in the village they are very popular. A local.
No, it's fine. I mean, if it's a popular thing, I'm sure there'll be more to be had.
What is inside of them?
I've never tried.
Oh,
You sound like you're not from around here, almost.
The burgomaster's son? No, I've lived here all my life. I just haven't partaken of a pie. So I didn't realize it was a rite of passage.
Said it. No, never mind.
Passive perception. Is there anything about the pie? Because I wouldn't actually examine the pie. This would be an exchange I'd see. But passive perception, 14.
I mean, you weren't anywhere near enough to the man as he bought his. But you see, they're not big. They look like small kind of mincemeat pies. You know, like meat pies, like single serving. And in the cold night air, you can see a little bit of steam coming off them.
How much are the pies? I'm curious.
Do you ask the lady?
Yes.
She's like, oh, hello, dear. You're an interesting looking fellow. Please. Where do you hail from? You're not local.
No, I certainly am not. I am. My people come from far away.
Space. We have any concept of space?
No.
Okay, never mind.
But this,
the night sky.
Cosmic
At this
realm.
point, Krig has had 2 or 3 people
Celestial
kind of
plane.
scoff at his talk of planes, so he's just like
That's fair.
far away.
Ah,
In my
well.
in my homebrew, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make space the celestial plane. I feel like it'd be fun.
So she's like, well, I'm glad I ran into you. I don't get into the village as much as I'd like. It's a bit of a trek from our abode, but we come into town from time to time to sell our delicious pies. To answer your question, they're a gold piece.
Ah,
As you can see, many are happy to pay.
sure. They do seem to sell well.
A taste sensation.
Like a Starbucks.
Oh no. There is not one of me on every corner. I am the only one here.
Sure, why not? I'll try one.
Oh,
I've
bless
certainly
you.
been a stranger, so
Since Craig gets one, like Zenika's already got his money out.
Well, bless you both. They'll warm your tummies on this cold night.
well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. If you cross my path again, please. I hope to see you again.
Certainly. And I will, if I see you again, I'll let you know what I think of the pies.
I'm sure you'll be happy. They give you a sense of warmth and safety, which is such a rare thing in this land.
Zenika's has already got half of it in his mouth.
It's delicious.
Excuse me.
Yes?
What is inside the pie?
Meats and various berries and herbs and things.
What meat?
It varies, depends what's available or what if the hunters have passed by.
And what is available at the moment?
I think, if memory serves me right, this was the venison.
Venison. Is she lying?
Give me an insight check.
I'm very good at insight. It was a bad roll. It's only a 9.
Seems so.
So upsetting. Huh.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's quite flavorful.
I've never had a taste for meat.
Oh, delicious.
Certainly have a taste for meat. And Drake just kind of throws it back and
Absolutely, yep. I'm glad you like it. Sweet dreams. And she carries on her way
Thank you very much.
as the cat goes. Pleasure, pleasure.
She will appear in your dreams. That's a mind control
Is it?
pie.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
hi.
She goes to a door, knocks on the door. She's like, dream pies. I'm selling dream pies tonight.
Yeah, with that one,
Terrifying.
I'm crying as well now.
Yeah.
When you
You
go
ate it.
back and look at this on Twitch, you will see my face instantly drop. As soon as she said sweet dreams, I was just like,
Okay,
Yeah.
so you.
Zenika's is a lot happier.
It was delicious, and it does warm your stomach. As
Meat
it,
pies are his favourite food, and that was written before we started.
it was. I remember.
That's pretty cool.
Ismark's like, please, this way. And he leads you through the streets of Barovia village. And to the south, he leads you down to a large... Yeah, let me get the right thing up here. Yeah, he leads you down through the village, through the streets, kind of splashing through the puddles, collar kind of pulled up against the rain. And you see, as you come to the edge of the village to the south, A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, and the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. As you grow closer to the building, you see that heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls, and great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window, all of them barred with planks, and each one marked with stains of evil omen. It's not much, but it's home.
It looks like a bunker.
It's beautiful.
And yes, you're just following him up to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you
What
do,
did this?
sorry,
I want to point to the burn marks. What did this? Fire.
I'm afraid our abode was assailed by minions of the devil himself, night after night. Please let us hurry inside.
I would like to know more, but
As you come up to the front door and up next to the walls themselves, you do see that where the weeds have all been trampled, you can see scores of wolf paw prints and human footprints mingled together around the walls. And Ismark goes up to the door and he's like, ting, 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 ting. And you just hear from his side, "Who is it? I'm armed. I'll cut you." And you hear Ismark. He's like, Irina, it is me, Ismark. Open the door. And
I'm gonna lean to Xenakis and be like, welcoming.
Irina!
And you hear a lock being undone and a chain removed, and there's a clunk clunk as the door opens up. And let me introduce you properly to these two.
oh, I'm excited.
Before we go in, Zenica's also going to take
Alright.
Sal aside for a second. So,
First, here is Ismark the Lesser.
the lesser. Like, that's actually his second name. It's very,
No,
Very
it's just his
He looks
nickname.
like a happy chap. He looks like a happy chap.
it's actually the lesser, and that's just his middle name.
Yes,
So
it is,
stealing
it is
the
a
Lesser
nickname
for a
that
different
people in the
character.
town teased him with for being in the shadow of his father.
Of course. I think he's a great dude.
I mean, the
Maybe.
shadow of that
And
doll.
looks dropping.
Fine head of hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's very magnificent.
And as the door swings open, you see his sister, Irina Kolyara, who is a badass.
Oh,
Yes, good.
Oh. Oh, yeah!
She is not as armored as this, but she does have the sword.
she did tell us she was going to cut us, so.
Mm-hmm. She opens the door and she's like, "Quickly, inside! Who are all these people?" He's like, and Ismark's like, "No, Irina, they're here to help. They'll get you to safety. Come on, let us discuss inside."
They're going in a
Looks like
different.
we'll be working for our dinner.
as a quick second, like he just says to Asara as the other two are going in and they're distracted with that movement, he just, like Xenicus just says to Asara, Irina was bitten by a vampire. Bitten by a vampire. Also, do we want to piss off the devil? And then realizes that people are like, where are they? And like rushes in.
And I'm gonna be like, and walk behind him inside.
Can I clarify? Irina, we've heard of her before, haven't we? We know her to be apparently a vampire, or
Bitten by
something
one.
associated to it. Yeah, bitten by one.
But
Okay.
Xenicus having a moment about to
Yeah.
Asara.
Hence
Oh,
Xenicus'
sorry. Yeah.
flustered statement.
Right. Sorry, I think my headphones was cut out. Yes.
No,
Okay.
you're fine. You're fine.
Fine. So, okay, calm it down, calm it down.
Danta looks like she's like burning to speak. She's
At one
holding.
point, like eventually one day, like Xenicus is just gonna like know before even without seeing her, just come behind her, like put his hand over the mouth,
I
just
think
like in
that's
prep. Eventually, not yet. I don't think he's
Okay.
tuned in yet.
I think that she is holding back just a little bit. Just a little bit. How long that'll last, who knows?
I want to hold Vanta's hand and be like, Vanta, did you notice how dark it is in here? And give her something else to talk about.
The dark.
Well,
Yes, I did
actually,
know,
let me describe that properly. The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are all the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. Raven shaped holy symbols.
Okay, so are there like shadows around the ravens, like coalescing, kind of like dark how Asara was
No,
describing it?
they're very
Oh, so it's not
simple.
dark.
Simple.
I'm just asking
wooden.
if it's dark in here, essentially.
It's, I mean, it's illuminated, but yeah, not overly brightly. They don't want to be a
Okay,
beacon.
I'll wait. No.
The burgomaster himself is in a side drawing room on the floor.
I definitely thought you were gonna say side drawer, and I was like, what is going on?
No, a side
John?
drawing room.
The
On the
Bergen
floor,
The burgomaster on the floor,
died.
breathing.
lying in a simple wooden coffin,
Okay.
surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay.
I want to look towards Ismark.
The funeral services are held up recently. Trying to like feeling so awkward right now.
Ismark's face darkens. He's like, no, none of the cowards in the village will help me carry my father's body to the church.
I will.
Oh, would you? And Irina
Yes.
as well, like, immediately her face like softens at that and like glows almost. She's like, oh, yes, we can
We
finally
worship-
lay father to rest.
We worship the same queen, do we not?
She looks around. Ah, you are a follower of the Raven Mother?
I think you mean queen. You should refer to her as such.
Well, I'm sure it is a local mannerism.
I don't say anything to them.
And Ismark says, I mean, if you're willing, it would be rather splendid if we could transfer my father's body right away. Is that okay? I think Father Father Donovich has preparations before we can bury the body, and before any service could be done. Could we carry the body just to the church? It's a short walk away, no distance at all.
Can I just look and see what Asara and Xenakis and Krieg are looking like? Like, are we all thinking the same thing?
How do you
Are we all thinking the same-
I'm
look?
look-
How do you look, everyone?
I look at everyone like
Xenakis looks
it looks
genuinely
no different from regular today.
genuinely sad, but there's panic. Like, his face is just sad, but there's like Vanta and that with the people who know him a bit a bit more would probably notice that there's panic in the eyes. Oh, you're muted.
I mean, Vanta spit up blood earlier, so I'm looking at her. And well, I look at tired, panicked, about to have a panic attack Xenakis, and bleeding Vanta, and Krieg and his bugs, and I'm like, is now the best time?
Krieg's bugs.
This is such a welcoming, hospitable place, and I don't. Your town doesn't seem. And then she just gets quiet and is like,
Oh, Ismark says, "Oh, maybe you're worried about the attacks this house has faced. The strangest thing, unfortunately," and he takes Irina's hand. Our father's heart could not withstand the constant assaults and passed away 3 days ago. But since he passed, and they both walk over and they kind of put a hand on the edge of the coffin. Since he passed, there have been no attacks.
Oh, I see. Then he was the cause.
Irina gets
That
cold
of the
again.
of the attacks, possibly was it him that they were upset with?
Our father was a good burgomaster and a fair leader of this town. He gave even the devil himself no cause for any of this, says Irina.
I know.
Just making inquiries. We did not mean to offend.
and that's why he deserves a proper burial in a church. But maybe
No.
with
The reason he deserves a proper burial in the church is because he followed the Raven Queen. It has no reflection on the content of his character.
right,
But he was a
Vanta-
good character.
I will see to that.
Ismark says, "So, what say you? Might we transport my father's
he could have-
remains?"
Xenakis gently pokes Vanta with his elbow, knowing that she will wince with pain.
I'm fine.
Could we possibly rest for a moment? That's why we went to the tavern originally. Was that we came across attack ourselves not so long ago by a strange creature.
Oh, you poor people. I'm glad you reached the village.
Yes. Thank you.
Can we rest here? We don't need much day.
Maybe for a short while.
Of course. Just a short rest. Maybe over some food, and then we can look into.
Yes, we have stew. Irina, do we not? We still have stew. And she's like, yes. It's just it is in the kitchen. Well, won't you make yourselves comfortable? And he leads you and shows you a dining room, which is shabby, but former glory is evident. And there are enough chairs for everyone. And Ismark kind of busies himself pulling out the chairs for you. He's like, please, welcome. Make yourselves at home.
yeah, homie.
Thank you.
And
I'd sit down.
he bustles off, and you hear, you know, clanks and rattles and things in the kitchen. What must be the kitchen as he prepares food. And Irina moves to the head of the table and stands. Doesn't sit. And she stands there, puts her blade on the table. So, who are you? What brings you to this land? You're clearly not from round here. One of them adventuring groups, I'll wager.
Yeah.
So I guess that.
And her
does
eyes
sum it up.
light up. She's like, excellent. What beasts have you slain? Where have you been? What have you seen? What magics can you call from the skies? And she
Skies?
like swings a leg over the chair and like just plumps down and like elbows on the table. She's like,
She did a Riker.
Orvin, Krieg, fly around the room once and just. I'm gonna like say very quietly.
Is there room in here to fly?
yes, I'll say so. Not any heights, but there's, yeah.
You have to. So, like at Asara's like whispered suggestion, Krieg will at full volume say, "Oh, gladly," and like kind of spin around the room.
And there's kind of a tinkling as you stir a dusty chandelier with your wing beats, and Irina's like, oh, yeah, spectacular. I've never seen the like.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression that not many people around here have seen many of my people. I come from far away, but this is no magic. This is
Even the March of the Dead has nothing like you.
the what now?
Ah, well, we have some tricks and magics to show you, don't we? Every night, at midnight, the spirits of adventurers past rise up from the church graveyard and process up to the castle. You should see the different creatures. Nothing we've ever seen round here, but nothing like you either.
How many in this procession?
Oh, hundreds.
So lovely.
Why wouldn't it be hundreds?
Popular tourist town, Barovia, huh?
I mean, not really. We don't really get many people coming through, but I believe the priest at the church, he said that this is dating back centuries.
Right.
Is it a warning to not mess with something that they shouldn't mess with, or is it just a tradition?
I don't know. It doesn't seem anything of the sort.
Where do you think they come from?
From the graves, from the graveyard.
Where do you think the people who used to be alive in those graves came from?
Well, Father Donovich says that their bodies are not interred in the graveyard, just that their spirits rise.
What I'm actually asking you is, what do you know of the outside world beyond this place?
Beyond the mists?
Beyond the mists?
Nothing, but anything you can tell me, please. I've heard that adventurers such as yourselves come from time to time, and that the Vistani may come and go as they please, but the rest of us have no such luxury.
Damn, I think we met some of them.
Oh,
Krieg and I.
really?
Tell.
They're incredibly raucous people.
That's great
I-
parties.
Yes, food, wine,
Very helpful.
very, very kind.
They are hospitable people. Except those 3 in the tavern. I don't like them.
That seemed a little off.
Not
Definitely
that,
different.
not that I'm welcome there anymore.
That sounds
Can
like
I
a
tell
story.
you? Can I tell you something I know of the outside world?
Please. What?
A few things. First is that where I'm from, I was not always an adventurer. I was a healer
Really?
and a servant of the Raven Queen. I still am. And where I'm from, the undead don't scare us. And those who may or may not have been bitten by vampires, well, they might have something to say about it, especially to guests in their homes.
She kind of narrows her eyes. What did Ismark tell you?
Nothing.
That I'm some damsel in distress in need of saving?
No.
The devil did come here. He did use his cursed magics on me. He seems distracted by me. I don't know why. There's no... It's a mystery. Look, all I want is nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with the devil. And I don't know what the undead are like where you're from, but here the Mother of Ravens disapproves of their travesty, and they are a danger to us all.
Well, perhaps you do serve the mother rather than the queen then. Where I'm from, the story's a little bit different.
And I'd say, Vanta, you do know from your time in the institutions of the Raven Queen.
Only the one.
The mother of Ravens is an archaic name for her.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just making a point that she doesn't go along with what I think, even though we're the same religion, and I find conflict there. But yeah.
I just wanted to voice that
Yeah.
out loud.
100%. Yeah.
That
No,
is...
I 100% cottoned on.
Yeah, because it's not in law. It's just a name that I came up with. So,
I like it.
and she, you see her. She kind of absentmindedly tugs at a scarf that she has around her neck, and she's like, here we are. And Ismark comes in. He's like, it's not much. I'm afraid I don't have much to work with, but here you are. And there are hot, steaming bowls of stew and big, rough, torn chunks of bread on the side. And Asara, Vanta, it's delicious. Very wholesome, despite the lack of ingredients and the what he's got to work with. Ismark is clearly a very talented cook.
But
Krig, Xenicus, it's kind of bland. The pies were better.
are we addicted to pies now?
You guys definitely are.
That's clever.
So, you may all take a short rest.
Nah, that's gonna do absolutely very little for me. I'm almost
Use any
spells.
hit dice that you would like.
I will. What am I, a D8? I think I'm a D8. I'm a D8.
Oh, you can.
I'm gonna use both. 2. Even. So I'm back to full.
Excuse me.
Cool.
Used to.
This is fun.
Yeah, like the most awkward stew eating ever. Like this idea of like Fanta and like Arena just like eating but like staring at each other, and everyone else is just so the weather.
Do you have any questions for them whilst you're eating and resting?
How's the chemistry between Arena and I? Are we like, you know, is this gonna be an enemies to lovers kind of situation? No.
She
Already on the
seems very fascinated, you know, by any stories you can tell and anything you can, you know, she's definitely excited to meet adventurers. But
I have a question.
Yes.
You say that no one's willing to help you since the devil sent his creatures after you.
Yes.
What do you expect to happen if we were to move to Father? Do you expect there to be conflict there?
No, we just need to transport him to the church.
I see. And have you heard of houses attacking people?
And you see them both kind of think, and Irina like smiles at Ismark. She's like, it's like that old story we used to scare each other with about the evil mansion off in the woods. Do you remember? And Ismark like, yes, when we were children.
I would love to hear more of these stories, as many as possible.
Oh, there was just the one.
Oh darn!
But it's hard to be scared very much when that, and he points towards where you know the castle must be. Well, that is looming above us all.
I think there's plenty to be scared of, including that. Being scared
Well,
doesn't.
nothing at all.
Being scared is a good defense technique.
It's true. Many strangers like yourselves have been drawn to Barovia over the years, but they all die or disappear before long.
Again, something to be scared of.
Oh, I'm sure. And Irina says, such adventurers such as yourselves.
We
She
defeated the
trails off.
we defeated the
Wait.
house of your nightmares as children, so got that going for us.
beg
And
your
he's
pardon?
like getting like, sorry.
That's just a story.
Indeed.
No, it's a nightmare.
It was.
Gave me one or two in my time, yes.
Is there any windmills around?
I believe, well, Ismark, you've travelled further afield. He's like, yes, I travelled with father to Valaki, and, yes, there is a windmill. It's where the bakers live. It's where those pies are made.
Great. Maybe we shall go and get more
This
pies.
is this way on my screen.
We gotta see that windmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to
Pies.
add for Xenicus, when you said things to be scared of in reference to death and disappearance, specifically death,
Mhm.
Vanta just started staring at you and she hasn't blinked since you said those words.
Like he's already incredibly awkward, right? You're adding to it, but not enough that it's getting a huge change in reaction.
It's okay, but expect a confrontation.
I was
Putting
gonna say,
down my arm.
week after week, sound advice in the chat.
Oh,
Well, I mean, a bit late.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But
I
thanks.
didn't do it.
First rule of horror: don't eat the pies.
Wow. It is my favorite food. It did come up when I rolled it for it.
So upsetting.
Some might say it was fated.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll ask Karina, is it usual in your village for the woman to be head of household?
Our father was the burgomaster.
Well, yes, but he's passed.
Yes, and now Ismark will take over his duties.
I'm very polite, but I look disappointed.
Like Irina looks at that, she's like, oh, thank you. It's like she just assumes that you think that she's better fitted.
She sat at the head of the table, like I assumed as well.
She's got the big sword, which means she wins. It's
Yeah,
very
they-
simple. It's very simple fantasy logic. If
Which
you
is
give the lady the big sword, she is the best character.
Is it like instead of like who wears the pants in the relationship, it's who wears the armor in the relationship?
Well, I take issue with that whole phrasing, but
I know that's what
Ismark,
I'm saying. Like,
Sword. Yeah.
in fantasy, like this is like it's who wears the armor because it's way better. She's wearing the armor.
Ismark also draws a blade. He's like,
Oh,
I tell you something.
it's smaller.
I-
It's tiny.
I have been training all my life to rid this village and rid this land of that devil.
I
And
think
now,
you wouldn't rip enough.
now that I must keep him away from my sister, doubly so.
Is this not a butter knife?
You're clearly not a fighter. Maybe you should stick to the dead once they've been killed.
I dislike you so
We are, seeing the tension rises. It's like, we are here to help, aren't we, Vanta?
I thank you.
I'm here to lay us all to rest,
And
and then to finish my quest.
and to help Irina and to transport her to safety, away from the devil, away from the glaring eyes of that castle.
Do you have a bunker in the woods we don't know about?
No, as I said before, I would ask that you take her to Vallaki, where I went with my father. It is a walled town, bigger than this, much better defended.
They oppose the devil?
You like that?
Nobody here is happy with his reign. It is forced upon us all.
Understood, but not what I asked. Do they openly oppose him?
They are not suicidal, but they are protected. And much better able to look after themselves.
I see. And how far is this Vallaki?
A short journey. Less than a day. Don't worry, I would not ask that you spend the night out in those forests.
Lesson learned.
And Irina's like sets her jaw and she's like, look, I am not going anywhere until Father is buried beneath the ground of the church graveyard.
Do you want to leave? It seems that he's saying that you should, but is this what you want?
Yes. Yes, I want to be away. I want to be away from those eyes. I don't remember much of his visits, but I'll never forget the hunger in those eyes.
Be sure, though, if you leave, that you're not just running away, that you're running towards something as well, whatever that may be.
Pies, for instance.
Perhaps you could pursue
She kind of
Polly.
like side eyes. We've just had dinner. Now, look. I don't know what will happen when we go to Valaki. Ismark says the Burgomaster owes our father a favor from when they were younger, and they will be able to take us in, or take me in, and keep me safe. There is hallowed ground there?
Is that safe for you?
And it is said that, yes, creatures like the devil cannot enter such places.
I see.
And Ismark's like, well, I hope that has given you some sustenance and nourishment, but let us do our night's work, and we may rest properly.
Let's.
Yes?
Our sad group of pallbearers. Yes.
Thank you.
That's a good name.
The pallbearers.
pallbearers.
Group name decided.
Oh.
Oh no! Do you know though, that makes 3 of my D&D groups all beginning with P. I had the Pebble Posse, the Pits, and now the Pallbearers. So that's quite something.
So please,
Point
my heart.
crew.
All bearers.
So,
Oh, that's pretty good.
do you lift up the father? You can see there's a top to the coffin that's off on the side, and Ismark and Irina say one
I have
last.
a +2 strength. I'm
Say-
on top of my game. Hell yeah!
They
I
say one
lifted up.
last goodbye
Give them a moment. It's like, "Yeah."
and place the coffin slowly over the remains of their father. And Ismark turns to Irina. As always, don't answer the door. Don't even go close. We'll be back as quickly as possible. And she nods. Lay our father to rest, that we may move forward. And you array yourselves around the coffin.
You can slight dip at Xenakis' thing because I do have a -1 strength.
And you're also a short king.
Short king?
And you
It's
you
like
gather
what you call someone
yeah.
who's an average height man.
you gather around the coffin, hoist it up onto your shoulders. Irina steps to the front door to let you out, as you all put on your white gloves and put on your sunglasses.
Dorim. Oh my god!
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's brilliant.
It's
When you
quite-
said Pallbearers earlier, that went in my head, and I'm like, no, be serious. And then the teams did it anyway, so it's fine.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. It's like
We're all
the
there.
memes, like my kids, like yeah, it's like Roblox, Fortnite, all of them, just like so many.
Hearing Fortnite in the same sentence as that
Pallbearers.
Pallbearers meme is just suffering. The suffering. Oh my god! I need to download Sirenscape. I have to.
Did you just get that? I had that playing for quite
Yeah,
quite a long time.
I
I
don't
only
think
just
I'm
used
done.
through, but it made it better.
Jeez, wow. Yeah,
Oh my
that,
God.
I started talking about it when it started playing for me.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my
Yeah.
god.
Pallbearers meme, but make it horror.
Have a look on Twitch later, because they get my feed. I'm sorry, I thought that had come through already because everyone started
I
talking
know,
about
like,
it.
that made it better because it was
No,
just
it's fine.
talking about it, and then it just subtly came in, like, as we're...
Wow. Okay. So,
Ah.
you somberly make your way, not dancing like some. Is it not Ghana?
Don't railroad our campaign. If we're dancing with this dead dude, we're dancing.
It's Uganda.
Does that
Thank you.
does that make Vanta the one at the front with the pole, like swinging it about?
Yeah, the top hat guy.
Yeah.
That would definitely be you.
Yeah. It would be.
And you make your way almost due north, cutting through the town towards the north end, where you had seen the tower of a church poking up above the rooftops as you approached from the east. And let me change our view here a little.
We all some pictures and notes.
So, after traipsing through the rain-sodden streets of the village,
Anyone out and about, like the act?
not a soul. You start to leave the buildings once more as you get to the north end of the village. Very quickly, it's a very small place. And atop a slight rise, against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft, stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against the load. Do you approach?
Yeah.
We take the body back.
Yep.
We're just like, actually, we've
No,
changed
we
our
have to take-
minds.
yeah.
Go.
Maybe this isn't the place. Let's
It's
just
like,
take
yes,
it to the tavern.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Bury him in the tavern. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, another beautiful example of James's RPG artwork.
Looks so good.
Yeah, I really love it.
And Vanta, you do see carvings on the exterior of the church of ravens. But again, quite archaic designs that you know of.
Is that a creaky door or a wolf?
That was a wolf. But there is a
It
creaky
does-
door.
like, it could be a really big creaky, like a really long creaky door.
Yeah. No, that was a wolf. But
Close?
fairly. I mean, you're on the outskirts of the town here. And actually, let me bring you over. Now you've had your fill of the view of the church. Let's go top down, shall we?
Not in trouble.
So, is this is a kind of rough marching order for you here?
Okay.
Does everyone have control? Okay, yeah.
I need
It's
to
still
reload.
loading for me.
Okay. Well, as you carry the old burgomaster's coffin towards those doors that you saw in the front of the church, you see that the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire, much as the burgomaster's house was. Ismark pushes open the door as you approach and come up against it. And let me get that out of your way.
Okay, it's still not loading, so I would probably stick in between Xenicus and Asara if I'm not at the front, because
Sure.
I probably shouldn't be at the front.
Until-
I'm learning slowly but surely, but
until
slowly.
Vanta rushes
Very,
in.
very slowly. So slow.
So, yes, you do all make your way up those few steps to the door. And as I said, Ismark pushes open the doorway, which is unlocked, it opens freely. And the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. So, go over here. The hall itself is unlit and reeks of mildew. And I believe, Xenicus, as you can see there, 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers.
Just so you know, we don't have anything. Neither Colby nor I.
Roll 20, not rolling.
Is it Roll20 is just doing a bad right now? Mine is
Haven't.
as well. I might completely close it and open it again.
Is yours fine, Xenicus?
Yeah,
Alright.
okay.
Oh, sorry, Asara, your token wasn't correct.
Oh.
Apologies.
Can we still hear that wailing lady?
While you're outside, yes. It does
How far
echo.
away from the town?
It's a tiny village.
Oh, okay.
Swall. Raw. Just a moment, please.
It wouldn't be a stream without technical issues.
Quite.
We were doing quite well until
We
this
were.
point.
I mean, it's
Very
the
well,
law of all
thanks.
streams. No matter what stream I watch, there's always at least one tech.
Yeah.
Not even Critical Role is exempt from this.
Okay, that guy looks so much better zoomed out. Because, like, like zoomed in. So zoomed out, you can't really see where his hair starts, so it just looks like all of his, it looks all skin color, and it's like, it just looks like he's got a really weird shaped head.
Who are you
Zoom
talking
in,
about?
you see his hair. I can see a token in the end of the hallway.
Nosy. Now, Steph, is that better?
Let me refresh.
Yeah. I was zoomed in on that picture and suddenly I just got a face full of
Haha.
Asara.
You have control of your token, so you should have vision. Oh no! Why is it?
Okay,
annoying.
good. It wasn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Why?
I'm back.
Sorry.
I'm in. I'm in. But also, I
Great.
don't have 6 HP, don't worry. Yes.
La 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 la. We don't have
You-
that much time.
If you click
Please,
in the
can you
little green box, you can update your own HP. Type in.
the HP and everything's fine, and she doesn't have her night vision.
No, I was looking for Vanta.
Oh, see, I just saw that ping, but
Sorry. 100. Okay. Bimp, bimp. Bimp. There you go. Sorted. And young Krigathe.
Oh, please tell me
Can your
that's
full name please be Krigathy? That's beautiful.
Please.
Is that better? Bobby?
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, yeah, for some reason the tokens didn't have sight. Blinded. By the light. Sorry, okay. So, you have approached, and you see, as I described, the hallway there. Okay, the 4 doors on either side. And as you come in,
Okay. Can we go inside?
Yes, you can. As you enter, you see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice. Emanating from within. Just stop there a sec. You hear this soft voice emanating from within, reciting a prayer, which, Vanta, you recognize as being to the Raven Queen. Suddenly, prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream. It rises up from beneath the wooden floor of the church.
Like, instantly look at Ismark. Like, what?
I'm hungry.
I'm just going to hang out here and wait for you to react to Siren Sleep because I have no idea when you're hearing it
Just
anymore.
got it there.
Can we put this down? I don't
Yes.
like, I'm very uncomfortable.
Where do we place it?
Is this a church or a prison?
That Anta,
Yes.
what?
Sir?
What's the difference between the Raven Mother and the Raven Queen? Knowing nothing about the religion, being like, what? Human sacrifice? What are we doing?
Well, there is not necessarily an element of human sacrifice, not in the religion that I follow. In fact, the only sacrifices that we make are those while we live in our first lives. In our immortal lives, we have everything we need, so why would we want more than that?
Yeah. Ismark, what gives? I'm getting angry now. Like we got pulled into something.
I don't know. I haven't been here since I was a child.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to put your father down.
Yeah, you set the coffin down in facing the altar there, and you see as you do and get a proper look around, the chapel is a shambles with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels a priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. From beneath the chapel floor, you hear a young man's voice cry out.
I am
Thank
going
you, Siren Escape. That, I was about to read it,
I'm
but I
going
don't.
to turn to my box.
Yes.
Yes, good.
Haha! It's a better, bigger box now. I upgraded. It's been sitting here this entire time. I've been waiting. I would like to speak to the bishop of Raven Roost. I lean in and I open my prayer book
Yes.
and I will lean in and just say, "This is nothing like I know. This is nothing like our religion. What am I missing? What aren't I seeing here?"
Your religion was no religion of mine. I was somewhat pressed into service, if you'll recall.
Yeah, but you could give me a hand now. Come on, you've hung around with us long enough. You're immortal. Give us something.
The Raven Queen does not, and has not in any of her iterations, had human sacrifice.
Okay, I understand.
I mean,
Thank you.
there are those on their way out who are sometimes helped along the way, but
Yes, I know we did that enough for me to know enough about that.
And you know he's talking about, frantically looks through notes.
This is a very big box.
Is it heavy? Is it heavy with the burdens of your people?
It's very heavy actually. It's got my this little pouch that I made, and it's got this crystal thing in it.
Oh, mystical.
Yeah, some scissors.
Ooh.
Ooh, mystical. A marker. Oh, actually, this is very mystical. I bought these for me and one of my friends. These fun buttons.
How
Oh
cute.
my god.
Whoa.
I got them from a cedarwood shop in Aizu, and I'm gonna give a couple to my friend, and then I'm going to keep some of them. I
Can you
have
send me the wherever that you got those? Can you ping me that location? Because
Yes.
you don't understand.
yes,
I need it.
Aizu.
All right there, Bilbo. Spotted.
I remember what it's called. It's like the cedarwood shop or something like that. It's a really beautiful shop with a little cafe in it. But it's mostly just selling handmade cedarwood crafts. Sorry, John.
It's okay. Allow me to frantically search for what I was looking for. I cannot find it. You do know there are servants of the Raven Queen who do find people close to death and help them on their way, shall we say?
I feel like we would have done that once or twice, a few times, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe 4, maybe 5. No
Then
less,
it gets-
no more than 9.
Oh, sorry?
Sorry, while Vanta's consulting her boxer right after, I want to go up to the altar and like
Yeah.
hang on it and be like, "Hey, father, you don't feed your children?"
And
This is wetter then.
he starts. You know, he's surprised. He's surprised by that. And he stands up. He's like, good evening. And let me show you who you are talking to.
Not for the one but down below.
And here we are. This is Father Donovich.
It's gonna look like Nosferatu. I'm calling it before it shows up.
Ah,
Oh no, not really.
No.
He is not a good dude. He is not a good dude. Also, I can't believe
I think anyone's a good dude. Nice.
the audacity of Ismark. He's like, yeah, we gotta just take him to this church. Oh, oops, a plot twist. I haven't been there in years. I'm sure it's fine though.
Since I was a child. Go to hell, Ismark.
You're at
Careful what
least
you wish for.
40, Ismark. You have been a
Oh.
child for a long time.
We're already in hell, don't worry.
Yeah.
The devil is here, and he is the land.
Oh my god. This is
I'm gonna say to the father, like, after Xenicus says, "Not for the one who's hungry," I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, no, not a good evening. Can you explain? Can you explain?"
My son. He is afflicted.
By still being very pissed off.
You're very nosy, and it's none of your business.
It is our business when someone is being captured against their will.
It is for the safety of himself and everyone in the village.
I understand.
Yeah. So what do you feed him? Sorry, Vanta. Go ahead.
I don't.
Perhaps he was kissed by the devil.
And the priest's eyes sharpen. They were kind of a bit wild and all over the place before. He's like, "What do you know of the devil?"
I'm searching for him.
Well, you're in the right place.
But first we came to bury this man.
Oh. And he's like, for the first time, you see him like focus properly for the first time. He's like, oh, is Mark? Is that you? You have come back. You have come back to pay your respects. Look at you. You're so grown up. Doru would be a fine man like yourself if I could only find the way to cure him of his affliction.
The dead can wait. What is going on below?
It is okay. He cannot escape. I will keep him there, safe for himself and for the sake of everyone else. And one of these days, I know.
I'm hungry.
He kind of winces every time he hears that. He's like, the mother will show me what to do. She will show me how to save him. And he just falls to his knees by the altar again and pulls on the bell pull, apparently.
I'm looking at Ismark. What's his reaction to this? He doesn't like. This is a bit weird and not really the atmosphere he was probably hoping for his father's rest.
I'm hungry.
I think he seems concerned. Probably that's going from what Vanta said. That this is what could happen to Irina. He's like, Father Donovich, we would ask you to please lay my father to rest alongside his family, our family. And the priest is like, oh, the burgomaster. Yes, of course, child. He was a good man. And I'm sure the Mother of Ravens will gladly accept him into her embrace.
Why was your house being attacked then?
Are you asking Ismark?
Ismark. I do have to ask if there's anything at all that you can pinpoint. Anything.
No. Just that the devil was obsessed with Irina. And Father Donovich pales. He's like, oh, your poor sister. Is she okay? And he looks at the floor. And Ismark is like, yes. The devil has visited her twice. And his creatures have assailed our house night after night. But she's okay. For now. But I plan to get her far away as possible. And Donovich says, yes, she should. She needs to get away from the castle, away from Castle Ravenloft. She could go to Vallaki, or maybe Kresk. There is the church in Vallaki, the Abbey of Saint Markovia in Kresk. She would be safe there, surely.
Father, when was your son?
Character.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I'm just saying I wish I was playing a character who had a bit more intelligence, because I think I have an idea, but I don't want to.
Don't cripple yourself.
It's out of character to Vanta. It's very out of character.
Okay. You gonna say it, Sarah?
Father, when was your son bitten?
Why should I tell you? It is
Because this guy...
my family, my business.
Yeah, but this guy, his family, his business, his sister's been bitten. And we should probably know how much time we have to get said girl to said city.
Ismark.
So if you care for your flock, it'd be wise of you to tell us.
Ismark shakes his head. He's like, Irina is in no danger unless the devil visits her again.
What is to stop him visiting her again? There's nobody else there but her. Not even the dead is in her home right now. Not even we're in her home right now.
But
And
What
why,
if he was waiting for this moment?
he is unable to enter uninvited.
and why do you
Yeah.
suspect that she is safe from a third time?
Because he cannot enter our house.
What if
And,
she lets him in?
She won't. She can't. Why would she?
and
What happened the first 2 times?
We were not aware of the danger. We just thought they were beasts. The two of us have trained in sword play all our lives. We were fighting the monsters that attacked, and we were outside when he swooped in as a swarm of bats. He could transform himself into a bat, a wolf, a cloud of mist, and dominate you with his eyes.
Look, don't you want to know how long we have to get your sisters to the castle? If we know when this guy's 3rd visit happened, we would know how long your sister would have should her 3rd visit happen.
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on, you can do it.
While that's getting rolled, I want everyone to know that Krig is standing where he is.
Yes.
And the face spirits are ants, like very slowly piecing back the pew together.
Okay.
I would like to pray for guidance in this trying time.
Yes. So you have a D4 on that as well, Steph.
Oh, sweet. What, it was a persuasion check?
Yes.
Okay.
You feel a flutter of wings against your back as Vanta reaches out and just gives you a poke.
Krieg, don't distract me.
And it really creeps me out and totally doesn't work because I only got a 7.
With
Did you add a
the
D4 to
D20
it?
and the D4? And your bonus?
Yep. I got a 5, a 1 on my D4, and a 1 on my persuasion. So at least you guys know I'm not a liar.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very fair.
Father Donovich shakes his head. No. No, it is none of your business. Look, of course, Ismark, I will lay your father to rest. I will perform the rites first thing in the morning.
Oh no.
I'm gonna look at.
And
I'm gonna-
Ismark says to you, Krieg, no. There are rites that need to be performed during the night. And then the ceremony can happen tomorrow morning.
Sir, may I speak to you?
Yes, child, what is it?
I am no child. I'm probably much older than you are.
You know, Bree say that all the time.
Oh no, she meant it as an offense. She meant it exactly as strong as it came off.
Gotcha.
Because she's changing her tactics with the little charisma, the no charisma that she has. I don't think you quite understand. This isn't a request. You must tell us. We came here for a reason. I came here under the Queen's wishes, and I still work now for her. Every resistance you put up isn't resistance to any of us. It's resistance to the deity that you serve, that you've dedicated your life to.
Are
And that I'm
you
certain your hope, your
persuading
son
or
will-
intimidating?
Intimidating, and of course, I want to just say one last thing to him. I'm certain that you can join me in a prayer for guidance in this trying time. 'Cause I have no intuition.
Yeah. And like for bringing the Raven Queen into it and everything, that's with advantage on that one. That's great.
Well, hey, I have no charisma. I just look fucking creepy. Boom. Oh, it's a dirty 20.
Yes.
It would not. I feel like
Chicken something?
whilst Vanta is saying the right things, it's truly the visage of Asara just looming behind her, which is doing the real heavy lifting.
Before you
okay.
started, I was gonna elbow Xenakis and be like, "Do you ever threaten people?" Like,
Not at all.
I feel like
But-
Xenakis wouldn't.
Just
Is
threaten,
Zedekis
just
is
threaten
that- is
monsters.
Yeah, it's like it threatens monsters, not people. But again, at the same time, Zedekis does look very pissed off at this whole thing.
I'm hungry.
Okay, so you that is successful, and he kneels and prays fervently beside you. Let me bring that back. We're bringing praying back. Okay.
Life is a mystery.
Yeah, no, misery. You've got it wrong.
Life is a
And
mystery.
after you both finish your prayers, he kind of uses that to save face, and
I can tell.
he stands up and he's like, yes, the Mother of Ravens has made her wishes clear. Look, my son's situation is not like that of poor Irina's from the sounds of things. My son fell in with that cursed magician. And Ismark's like, oh.
Magician, you say?
Yes. 3 months ago,
Father,
a wizard
I'm
with his
hungry.
ostentatious billowing cloak waltzed through the town and said that he was going to destroy the devil. And my poor son, my poor Doru, he and so many others like him were swept up in the magician's words, probably under the influence of some magics, and they were all led up to the castle.
What was this magician's name?
I don't know. I don't care. From all accounts, the devil killed him. But
Father,
there was no such escape for my son,
hungry.
my Doru. Returned to me as a vampire spawn. But I fixed it. I managed to trap him. I got him down. I trapped him down in the undercroft, and I managed to seal it and lock it shut. He's been there ever since. These 3 months. He never shuts up. He never stops calling out to his new father. And just the fight kind of goes out of him. His shoulders sag. He just tries to just puts his hands up to his ears. He's like, "Shut up!"
He did not choose this either.
No. The devil turned him. But she will show me. And he turns to the altar. She will show me a way. I know that she shall.
yeah. Huddle up. I'm gonna turn
Huddle, huddle, huddle.
around and wait.
I
Yeah.
will. I look at him and then I'll join the huddle.
Zedekis just stares daggers at him as if, like, don't you come near this comp.
Don't
He's
get away from the huddle.
sunk.
Don't you do.
He's
Stay,
sunk to
stay.
his knees and he's praying once more.
Ismark, go stand with him. We don't want you here either.
Raises an eyebrow.
Or do
Like, that was trying to like say something, but he realized the damage had already been done.
You're gonna move faster than that, right?
Yeah.
Usually we'd stop Vanta, but also in this, I'd like it's warranted. Screw
Yeah,
that
it's
guy.
like right now, actually, we do want the huddle, so it's like.
You go, huddle over here.
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
so what are we doing? We're supposed to be finding children. Now we have a young man in a basement, a young vampire in a basement. Are we gonna take care of this? What are we doing?
It's not his fault.
Obviously not. What can be done?
I don't know. But they
There
said
is
that
something.
we need 3 visits. Irina's been visited twice, and she's safe when she's in the house. Why are we taking her out of the house?
I will not take her. I do not think it's right. Also, she's a key that unlocks the next part of my quest.
Is this a hunt? Or something you know, some guidance you receive?
Zenicus, can you roll me a history check?
Okay. Is this about monsters?
No.
Monster party.
I do get advantage if it's specifically about monsters.
Not a monster.
Not very good. That's an 8.
Okay, with that, you can't remember specifically what it was, but you do remember Eamaris. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Eamaris did talk of vampire hunting.
Hmm.
Vanta, you said you had
Away.
a way?
Yes. It would not cure him, but it would send him to the loving embrace of our queen.
That is fun.
I don't know anything about vampires other than what Zenicus has told me, and if he doesn't know a cure, then
Like that kind of like I think also springs his memory, and he suddenly like goes for his like backpack to take it off, and he pulls out his book, and he sits like he kind of like starts to like flicker through it looking for anything.
I think he has an idea. I'm gonna say sarcastically.
Should get a, do I
Yeah,
get another chance?
you get to the point. Yeah, some of the stuff that Eamaris had put in there for you, and he did write some things there, just kind of general pointers, and it mentioned how vampires have to rest in coffins during the day, but at night they're free to move around, and they can summon wolves and vermin to do their bidding. They can transform themselves into a bat, a wolf, a cloud of mist. And they do have a powerful gaze that can charm you, but only in humanoid form. Written here as well, you see written that they can't enter a residence without invitation from one of the occupants. And finally, he notes that running water burns a vampire like acid, and sunlight causes a vampire to burst into flame. Basically everything we know from movies.
So we have a million ways to kill him. Do we have anything else?
well, the bit about the coffin, maybe that would help at least keep him quiet.
That quickly, you said that like they have to rest in coffins during the day, but it's during that time they send minions. Is that what you said?
No,
Because they can't go
they can.
themselves.
No, they can send minions to do their bidding and things. But it doesn't. It didn't say when. It wasn't linked.
Okay.
Sorry guys, do you mind if I quickly pause and then restart so we don't lose the VOD?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Go for it.
coming up on 2 hours. Be right back, everybody. Sorry,
My
what was
only
that, Azara?
concern-
You were saying?
What I
We're back.
said was, so what are we doing? Because it sounds like our options are leave him and have him kill his father, minimum, or kill him. What will we do? Brass tacks.
My only concern, in all honesty, is interring the dead properly. And perhaps, if the situation calls for it, helping somebody pass on. I have no interest in killing someone, sending someone to the Raven Queen who doesn't wish to be sent. Oh,
Oh, hello.
He's still here. I don't know why that happened.
we default to you all.
The idea of the vampire spawn is quite against your teachings, Vanta.
Yeah.
Unnatural extension.
If there is no cure, then we must do what needs to be done. But the fact that he's kept him here for 3 months means that he will not be willing to accept that.
Ismark comes over. There's only so much of that playing I can listen to. Look,
I don't like this man. I say to his face.
he's becoming accustomed. And he's like, I think if you're willing,
You cut out.
I stopped talking.
You cut all that out. Sorry.
I stopped talking.
Please stop talking.
It was a dramatic pause.
I was just trying to think what to say. He says, if you're willing, I think getting a proper rest and coming back here to rid my village of this danger might be the best course of action.
Now we're doing you 2 favors. What favor will you give us?
I will pay you what I can for your services in transporting my sister, but
Again, about that, you said that she's safe while she's in the house. Cannot enter.
but how long? The attacks are bound to start again. She has to, and I don't trust.
Who don't you trust? Because it sounds like you don't trust your sister to
Yes.
keep the door shut.
I don't trust her not to fall to his charms once more. That's why we have to get back. I thought we were just going to drop off my father and go straight back.
This is a different question now.
Then ask away.
What has she done that makes you believe that she would fall to him?
You see him just close his eyes and clench his fist on the pommel of his sword. Because the times he came before, she went willingly.
But now she does not want to go without him.
She was clearly under whatever bewitching eye he has, but
Yes.
I'm terrified what he can do to her. That's why she
Why hasn't he come
must
in
get
before?
away.
Why did he not come? How long ago was the second visit?
A 10-day ago.
And the first?
I don't know. I don't understand this any more than you do. Yes.
We are trying to understand.
Oh, I can't cast it. Damn it. Fuck. Damn it. I don't have the spell in this character. Never mind.
Look, Let's get back and check Karina's okay. Rest up. Come back here and inter my father's remains and do what must be done. What say you?
Can I clarify the plan? You want to leave here and come back in the morning?
Yes.
Daytime?
Yes. Maybe this creature is weakened the same way that the devil would be.
In the day?
I don't know. Maybe.
Does the sun shine here? When we last were here during the day, it did not seem to penetrate the clouds.
The light of day only touches this land through the clouds.
Is that enough?
I have never seen the sun.
For that I do have my deepest condolences. But how do you expect us to deal with this problem?
You must... I overheard you before. Are you not monster hunters? Is this not a monster?
Yes. And it, like he has gone like Zeneca has gone a little cold, and he's like, yeah, but we do hunt monsters for a price.
Look, I will give you what I can. And you're welcome to stay with us. But we are
We'll
a
reach an
small
agreement later, I
village.
guess.
We do not have much.
No, but upsetting the one thing that controls everything right as soon as we arrive also does not seem like the best idea until we know more.
Father, I'm hungry.
Please, let us get out of this place.
Please.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Father Donovich. I will leave my father with your care for the evening, and may we return in the morning for the ceremony? And he turns, he's like, yes, of course. And he stands, one hand on the coffin as you leave. He's like, blessings of the mother, watch over you all.
Make sure the burgomaster stays in that coffin, sir.
Of course. And we enter back out into the rain of the village. You quickly make your way back through the village, down to the south once more. The house is thankfully not beset by creatures. And Irina, once again, once having confirmed that it's you, lets you all inside, quickly closing the door again behind you.
I was going to laugh
Thank
about
you.
that. It's like, don't answer the door. But at last time, as soon as we chat, she answered the door.
She
Yeah.
confirmed it was you, and then opened.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. She'll be okay. She'll be fine.
And
Does
she-
the house seem unchanged?
Yep.
She seems fine. No worse for wear than we first saw her.
No.
Okay.
And she says, thank you all for helping Ismark.
I'm like, when she says that, I'm gonna like look at her and like just kind of like acknowledge what she said with a head tilt. Not even like that, just like and walk off to find a place to lay down.
Can I pull? I'm gonna ignore them pretty solidly as well, and I would like to try and pull Xenacus aside, if I can. Secret chats. Mwahahaha.
If there's a moment, yeah.
Nice.
Is-
Stab him. No.
Seneca's is deep in thought.
X.
Xenacus, this might seem a bit off topic to you, but for me it is always on my mind. Or close to it. Do you fear death?
In what concept?
The fear of not knowing what comes after, not knowing where you're going.
No.
You don't.
No.
Then why did you say that earlier?
I said fear is a useful tactic to keep yourself alive. Fear of wasting your life. That's a different concept.
Is that what you fear?
There are things that I fear. Things that I fear will not be done. But I do not fear death.
I think I understand you better now. If you ever change your allegiances, whatever deity you serve, if any, reach out.
It's like, not sure how to take that one, but he gives her a nod of, like, that means a lot to her, so he's thankful for the thought.
And also, you are a monster hunter, and I think you called. Do we know the name Strahd now?
Yeah, we saw it in the letter.
Yeah.
I think you called Strahd a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him that way.
Well, it depends on if Strahd is the devil they speak of. I assume so, but I need confirmation there.
If he is, and there ever comes a point where we encounter him, if it gets to that point, then I would like to try and deal with him as though he were a man.
And I will be there if he is a monster.
We understand each other.
Okay.
I walk away.
Thank you. For some reason, now the stream has decided to crap out.
Oh no.
At least we caught that cool RP.
No, the audio is always fine. It just freezes up a bit. Why?
Cool.
It's so weird. Nothing has changed from the whole night.
But did something change in your heart?
OMG, it did. What season is Xenacus at the moment? I'm just curious.
What? Ah, yes.
Like-
I guess nobody's actually asked him yet, so.
I'm just curious to see.
Emma is curious.
And Emma can continue to be curious.
Rude. So,
But Fanta was like standing right in front of him.
I mean, would you like his changes are a lot subtler, which you're like.
I would like to make a perception check because
please do.
I am interested.
Be my guest.
Say, what's this?
It's a
50.
number that I
It's
need it to
something.
be so that I can get an answer.
It was a 9 on the dice, and I struggled for a second. my
Struggle is real.
my hand started bleeding. I'm just gonna get a tissue.
His
I'm okay.
his hair is dark and his skin is pale, especially paler than when you first saw him.
Okay,
Make of
I
that
will-
as you will.
I will take that information into account.
Okay. Now, Ismark and Irina show you upstairs to various bedrooms, and they haven't been used in a while, but they're kept relatively clean. It's not dusty. No Durst Manor flashbacks.
Any scratches on the walls? Or...
Not inside, no.
Good.
No.
Just checking.
And as you're kind of laying down your packs and preparing for a night's rest, there is a hammering at the door.
And Ekis goes down.
Ismark whips around. Yeah, stay here with these adventurers. I'll deal with this. And you hear his footsteps recede down the stairs.
No way I'm staying upstairs.
Yeah,
No fucking way.
Do
man.
you go down?
I follow Zenekas out.
because Ekis was like, no, he's leaving it. So,
Yep. Craig is gonna stay upstairs with Irina.
You
Okay.
hear Ismark go to the door. Listen. And then,
I want him to inside.
Mary, what are you doing? You can't come here like this. What?
So
And you hear him open the door, and you hear it get pushed aside, and there is a familiar sobbing voice. And as those of you that followed, and as far as the stairs and have a view down the hall, you see a bedraggled by the rain looking woman push through the door and into the hallway, and she let's see if I get a proper description. I can show you her
the
easier than I can
monster
find the
that's
description. Here you are.
It's the
Here she
monster
is.
attacking Craig that I'm worried about.
Here you are.
What's
Oh, okay. Hi, Mary. Oh, she's Mad Mary.
Yes, this village is great for nicknames.
I'm looking for Happy Larry.
They'll be nicer to each other.
So, yes, you see this woman in these brown, disheveled-looking robes come in and kind of grasping at Ismark. She's like, I heard of your poor father, and I heard you are Burgomaster now. So you will help me, won't you? And Zenekas, you said you went, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's actually got his hand on his sword. He's not sure if this is a safe situation or if this is a trick.
Ismark seems fine. He's closed the door again behind her.
Like, knowing vampires and the fact that they can manipulate people, he's still not 100% safe. Feels safe.
Totally. And Ismark's still looking sympathetic, and he looks concerned, and he puts a consoling hand on her arm, and he's like, Mary, please, it's so late. And she's like, no, I saw you carrying the coffin. I know you are the Burgomaster now. You will help find my poor girl. And she just starts to sob and break down into the tears and sobs that you've heard echoing through the village since you arrived. And
I was waiting for that. Asara's head just pokes into the screen. A missing girl?
I went to go get toast, and then I heard that, and I ran back to be like, what?
And you, Zenekas, all of you, but Zenekas, you noticed in particular, she's carrying a malformed-looking doll, clasped with one hand to her chest. She's like, please, Burgomaster, you must help me. My poor Gertruda. Who will find her? Who will help her?
What is the doll? Like, he's like business-like right now.
it's a malformed-looking doll. That's all you can see where you are.
That's when he's asking her.
You go to her.
Like,
She's
yeah.
like, who are these people? Will you? And she like as soon as you come towards her, she goes to you and she grabs the front of your clothes and she's like, you look strong. You're warriors. Yes, you can help. You can find my dear Gertrude, my poor daughter.
Kind of holds her hand, kind of pushes her back and while he's doing kind of not like forcefully, but enough to yeah, okay, and he's trying to get a better look at that doll as he's doing so. Does it look the same kind as the one he found?
Give me a investigation check.
For God's sake, I'm rolling terrible tonight. That is a 9.
Okay. I mean, it's much lower quality than the one you have in your pack, but there are certain similarities in style, you could say.
Yeah,
And there is a label on the bottom. You do see that, much as
someone's
yours
missing.
Yes.
Said someone is missing.
Yes, my poor girl, my poor little girl. And
Does this belong to her?
Ismark is like, now Mary, you know, she's no longer a little girl. She's probably off somewhere with friends.
What's her name? I'll
Ger-
call it from the devil.
Gertrude. Oh,
Gertrude.
you, dear lady. And she rushes towards you, reaching towards you pleadingly. Will you help find her, my poor girl?
Is she affiliated at all with the devil?
Do you think he's taken her?
If he has, I'll help you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Look, please, the burgomaster knows where I live. He can bring you back with Gertrude to me when you find her. Yes, when you find her.
It is trying to in her hazes questions and stuff. He's trying to interrupt her. He's like, wait, we need to find her, but is that something of hers that could help?
Yes, it was mine, but then passed on to her.
May I? It could help.
Please. She passes it over.
What's the name? The tag.
The tag says, is no fun, is no Blinsky. Same as yours.
He hands it back, but it has a moment of trying not to drop it and of panic when he sees that, and he goes to hand it back more because he doesn't want to touch it.
And Ismark gently takes Mary's shoulder. He's like, now Mary, these kind people say they will help you, and they have already helped me with my father, and I'm sure they will do all that they can, but nothing can be done now. You know how dangerous it is at night. I'm sure Gertrude is a very clever girl. She will be safe, and as soon as we are able, we shall look for her. Now, come. Let me take you home. And rest. Maybe for once you can rest properly, knowing that these fine people will be looking for your daughter soon.
And where did you get that doll? With a slight crack in his voice.
My father bought it for me on a trip to Valaki.
Excellent. Thank you.
Not at all. Please, you must find her. She starts sobbing again, and Ismark slowly leads her away. Irina, please, see our guests are settled, and I'll be back as soon as I can. And he leads her out through the door.
Oh, what? Were we there? I thought, because I hadn't left
Oh,
the
she
room.
wasn't downstairs, was she? Unless she was.
He calls up to Irina.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'm like, if I was there, I would have had some shit to say. So.
Just saying. So he goes off with Mary, and Irina's like, please make yourselves comfortable, and any preparations that you have, any things that you would like to do before you sleep can be done.
Are we in a like shared room or like separate room?
No, the separate rooms. I think one of them seems to used to be like a servant's quarter, and is it has like a couple of beds in it. But others are singles.
One of us would have a single.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll just pick whichever room has the biggest window, and I'll throw it open, and I'll sleep at the sill of it.
Irina comes in,
There's
she's like,
no
"What are you
windows.
doing?" and closes it. Actually, there were no windows. They're all boarded up.
Oh, even if she can't open it, she'll sit by the sill of it.
Okay. And look up at the castle.
Gaze
Senpai,
longingly. Gaze longingly.
don't worry, I'll immortalize you soon, Senpai.
Oh god.
None of you hear that. So,
Sarah, are you gonna?
unless
Yeah, I'm gonna.
yes?
Sorry, I'm gonna tap on Krieg's door.
Yes.
Can I trance in here? I don't trust these people.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Okay, I'll be over here, and I'm gonna just take one pillow off the bed and sit on it.
You can have all of them. You can have all of them. I don't need them.
Oh, great! And I'm gonna take all of them.
Okay. Now, Krieg, Cynicus,
Yes.
can you give me a Constitution
fucking
saving throw,
pies.
please?
Fucking pies.
Oh my gosh, the pie! Yeah, shit, dude.
Well, keeping up with the theme tonight. That's a
Easy.
9 total.
9. Okay, Krieg.
I was gonna say, oh, is it very good?
16.
16.
This one of us is safe, most likely.
Okay. Zenicus, off alone in your room,
Uh-huh.
you fall into a deep, deep trance.
Okay. It's like I was gonna say
More-
sleep there. I was like, I can't.
More than you ever have before. Not your normal elven trance. And throughout the night,
Oh.
a bit of a shake. Throughout the night, you are whisked away to a beautiful, joyous place, far removed from the evils of the world. And you have wonderful visions, which I would like for you to tell us what they are next time. So I'll give you some time to decide what that is for Zenicus.
Okay.
No wonder people like these pies.
Krieg, you fall asleep naturally. And Fanta, Asara, as you also enter your trance-like states, the night progresses. Krieg, Asara, Fanta, you have a shared dream.
Holy shit.
What? Yes. Astral projection into each other's brain.
What the
Gosh,
hell?
I wasn't expecting Bitopia to come into play so soon.
I feel left out.
You see,
You had a pie.
you brought it on
You
yourself.
like scooter around with your friends and you're fine.
Hang on a second. Where am I looking here?
Yeah, that's a beautiful song.
It's like the beginning of Jurassic Park, is what I
Can I-
heard.
It is. So I need to tell you something. For the last 3 years, the theme tune for Jurassic Park has been stuck in my head,
Wow.
and every few months I'll forget about it, and then I'll start singing it again. Since my first D&D game in since 2017, before my first D&D game. Hang on. I first started playing D&D in 2015, but that's beside the point. But my friend who always plays D&D with me always noticed it, and that's just all I had to say. I messed up that story.
Okay. There you go. Sorry, Soundscape is moving again. The three of you
Oh,
find yourselves at a crossroads. Over to one side, you see a low stone wall, behind which, peeking up above the level of the wall, are several unmarked graves. The other side of the crossroads hosts a gallows, dripping with rain and creaking in a soft breeze. There's also a signpost, and perched atop the signpost, a large raven. With a caw, it takes to the air and swoops off down the branch of the road that is labelled on the signpost Sir Pool. Your vision follows after the raven without you walking. And as you make your way down this road, there's a certain distortion. You're unsure of the distance traveled. But you see at the edge of a pool, yes, you can see each other. You see at the edge of a pool a circle of wagons. And tents gathered together at the water's edge. But there's no one to be seen. Even the raven has disappeared. As you're looking around at this camp, you feel yourselves drawn, pulled almost, towards the largest tent of all the various ones there. And as you pass inside, there is a rich smell of some spice, some herbs burning, and indeed there is a fire which must be some kind of magical fire. For all of the silks and scarves and gossamer things hanging so dangerously close to it, and yet nothing goes up in flames. Across from the entrance is a rough-hewn table, seated behind which you see a hunched figure whose face and form is concealed under a purple cloak. Gnarled hands reach out and open a wooden box. From inside is lifted a bundle wrapped in silk cloth, which is slowly unwrapped to reveal a heavily worn deck of cards. The gnarled, worn fingers, wrinkled with age, deftly shuffle the cards and draw one forward, which, after being placed on the table, seems to levitate and float towards you, hanging in the air in front of you. You see this card. And a voice, crackling like dried paper, issues from the cloak. The mists! My sight is obscured by this distance between us. Visit me at Sir Pool so that I may show you what your futures hold. I look forward to seeing you. And the figure turns to each of you. I look forward to seeing all of you. Krig, Vanta, Zezura. And the image fades to black. And we shall stop there.
I knew we'd have a fake namer in this group somewhere. I knew it! I just didn't expect it to be you! Did I? No.
Everyone thought it was going to be Krigothy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Emma. It wasn't the full name.
Sorry, with Emma gesturing wildly towards the camera like that, and Steph doing just in the bottom of the screen, has got strong that screaming woman with the cat. It's happening. Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you for the emotional torture.
You're very welcome.
Also, love the Witcher music for this bit. Yes, tell me which song this is, because I remember this is a gift galore or something like that. What's it called? What's the song?
I will
Oh,
tell you.
call
I
off.
will tell you. But thank you very much. We are off next week as our own real life abode comes closer to the afterlife, and the spirits of deceased ancestors visit us once again during the Obon festival. Unfortunately, the perfect time to play, but thematically speaking. But yes, we shall have a week off next week and be back in Barovia. In the village of Barovia, with its various problems. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. It's a gifted